Some machines do more than move. They shift what we expect from speed, sound, and style. They redefine what a brand stands for, bridging raw excitement with real-world use. In a world obsessed with extremes, one car found a new balance. It promised exotic performance without the daily punishment. It became the gateway for enthusiasts who wanted supercar thrills without giving up comfort or confidence. Behind its sculpted lines and precise growl lies a story of evolution, engineering discipline, and design philosophy converging at the perfect moment in automotive history. Its influence still echoes in how performance cars are built and sold today. It showed that accessibility could coexist with adrenaline. This is a story about how a brand learned to speak to more drivers without losing its soul. If you love deep dives into the machines that changed car culture, make sure to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which legend we should explore next. The Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 of 2008 marked a turning point not just for the brand but for the modern definition of a supercar. Before it arrived, the company was known for extravagant machines that thrilled the senses but tested patience and endurance. The LP560-4 kept the exotic heart intact yet wrapped it in an entirely new layer of control and usability. Its 5.2-liter V10 engine produced 552 horsepower, delivered through a permanent all-wheel drive system that transformed every launch into a demonstration of stability under extreme load. This was not just about straight-line speed. It was about giving a driver confidence to use that performance without fear of unpredictable behavior. For years, Lamborghini meant wild looks, fiery temperaments, and a reputation for mechanical fragility. The Gallardo LP560-4 disrupted that image. It was built under an entirely new philosophy born from precision and consistency. Everything from its aluminum space frame to its dual-clutch gearbox reflected a new standard of quality. The car's proportions told part of the story. Lower, lighter, and aerodynamically cleaner than its predecessor, the LP560-4 carried a design language that balanced aggression with sophistication. Each surface was calculated for airflow and visual impact. The headlights introduced a sharper signature, while the rear diffuser and exhaust configuration were engineered for both cooling efficiency and acoustic character. When the engine fired, the V10's tone had a controlled intensity. It was fierce but not chaotic. The influence of meticulous German engineering was undeniable, yet the spirit of Italian emotion remained intact. Inside, the transformation continued. The cabin was not merely a cockpit, it was a livable space crafted for daily use. High-grade leather, precise stitching, and a layout designed around driver ergonomics showed a maturity rarely associated with the brand. Controls that once felt arbitrary now responded with clarity. The LP560-4 was more than a machine. It was a statement that Lamborghini could evolve beyond raw spectacle. The numbers told their own story. 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds, a top speed beyond 200 miles per hour, and braking figures that rivaled dedicated track cars. Yet, what truly set it apart was how approachable it felt at regular speeds. Steering feedback was measured, throttle response progressive, and suspension calibration refined to absorb imperfections without dulling communication. This was performance that could be appreciated on any road, any day. The LP564's creation was the result of nearly a decade of internal culture change. With new leadership and resources, Lamborghini had begun prioritizing build quality, testing procedures, and reliability standards that matched its competitors in precision. Each component underwent endurance evaluation. Every system was validated under extreme conditions. The outcome was a supercar that could be driven in traffic without overheating, that could start every morning without hesitation, and that no longer required constant mechanical attention. This reliability was revolutionary for the brand's identity. While the Gallardo name had existed since 2003, the LP560-4 represented its peak form. The addition of direct fuel injection, weight reduction through advanced materials, and optimized aerodynamics elevated it far beyond the original. This was evolution refined into art. Owners could finally experience the thrill of a Lamborghini without scheduling a repair appointment alongside every spirited drive. Automotive journalists noticed immediately. Reviews highlighted not only its raw capability but the sheer coherence of its engineering. It felt planted, predictable, and precise, words rarely used for earlier models. The steering was electric in feedback yet calm in demeanor. Under acceleration, the torque distribution of its all-wheel drive system allowed power to translate into clean motion rather than chaos. For the first time, drivers could explore the limits of a Lamborghini on regular roads without fear of sudden surprises. That new character attracted an entirely different clientele. The LP560-4 appealed to seasoned enthusiasts, but also to first-time supercar buyers who had been hesitant to commit to a brand known for unruly machines. The idea of an everyday Lamborghini was no longer a contradiction. It was a selling point. Dealerships began seeing repeat customers who actually drove their cars regularly, something almost unheard of in earlier decades. The LP560-4 blurred the line between passion and practicality. Its usability did not dull its excitement. Rather, it made that excitement accessible. Each refinement, from the revised e-gear system to improved suspension geometry, contributed to an experience that felt both thrilling and manageable. Every piece fit into a vision of a car that could perform flawlessly on a racetrack in the morning and handle a highway commute by afternoon. In retrospect, this shift in identity redefined what the brand stood for. The LP560-4 demonstrated that precision engineering and emotional design could coexist without compromise. It proved that performance could be approachable without being diluted. The car embodied a harmony that resonated with a generation of drivers who wanted everything: speed, comfort, and confidence. Through that balance, it quietly laid the foundation for a decade of future models. The LP560-4 became a benchmark of refinement and set the expectation that exotic cars could also be trustworthy companions. Its presence marked the moment when Lamborghini entered the mainstream consciousness not as a poster fantasy but as a real-world possibility. In the evolution of supercars, it became the bridge between untamed art and disciplined science. The Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 of 2008 did not emerge in a vacuum. It was the result of years of tension between artistry and engineering discipline. Its success can only be understood by examining the philosophy that shaped its creation. When the project began, the challenge was clear: retain the emotional essence of a Lamborghini while achieving the consistency expected from a modern high-performance machine. The solution came from an uncompromising blend of Italian design culture and precise German methodology. Each system of the LP560-4 represented this duality. The chassis balance was calculated for neutral handling under heavy acceleration. The aerodynamics were modeled to stabilize airflow at extreme speeds. The drivetrain components were selected for longevity as much as for performance. Engineers targeted measurable repeatability, ensuring that every LP560-4 performed identically under identical conditions. This was new territory for a brand that once thrived on hand-built unpredictability. The 5.2-liter V10 was the centerpiece of this philosophy. Using direct injection for the first time in a Lamborghini road car, it achieved both higher efficiency and smoother delivery. The soundtrack was still fierce but composed, resonating with precision rather than raw aggression. At idle, it hinted at power. Under full throttle, it became a controlled surge that invited the driver to push harder without hesitation. This sense of confidence defined the car's character. It was exhilarating without being intimidating. The transmission reinforced that feeling. The revised e-gear automated manual offered faster shifts with reduced wear, an achievement that extended the vehicle's lifespan and reliability. Drivers could experience seamless gear changes without sacrificing engagement. It was not perfect, but it represented a major stride toward the future of automated performance driving. Suspension tuning followed the same logic. Adjustable dampers balanced firmness with comfort, allowing the LP560-4 to handle city roads gracefully while maintaining composure during high-speed maneuvers. The all-wheel drive system distributed torque intelligently, correcting for traction loss almost instantly. Together, these systems formed a network of control that transformed how power was applied to the road. The LP560-4 felt alive yet disciplined, wild yet willing to cooperate. Critics often described it as the first Lamborghini that truly worked as intended every time. That reliability became one of its defining traits, encouraging owners to treat it not as a museum piece but as a tool for everyday enjoyment. The design language of the LP560-4 continued this dialogue between aggression and restraint. The sharper front fascia and Y-shaped light elements became visual signatures, while the rear profile emphasized aerodynamic function. Every crease had purpose. The body's lower stance improved cooling and stability, while lighter aluminum components reduced weight without compromising rigidity. The result was a car that looked faster, felt sharper, and performed with newfound precision. Inside, technology integration advanced beyond aesthetics. The central display, updated climate control, and refined instrumentation made the cabin feel genuinely modern. Noise insulation was improved, allowing drivers to choose between isolation and immersion depending on throttle input. This balance of performance and civility was no accident. It was part of a deliberate strategy to attract a broader audience without alienating enthusiasts. The LP560-4 became a symbol of what the brand could achieve when it merged passion with process. Yet not everyone welcomed this transformation. Some purists argued that the emotional chaos of earlier models defined the brand's identity. They feared that predictability would dilute the mystique that made Lamborghini special. However, the LP560-4 proved that passion could evolve. It demonstrated that refinement need not mean softness. On the track, the car still delivered spine-tingling performance. Lap times dropped, and consistency improved. On the highway, it remained a visual spectacle that drew admiration from every angle. The balance it achieved became a case study for how exotic manufacturers could modernize without losing their soul. What made the LP560-4 unique was how it redefined expectations. It invited people who had never considered owning a supercar to take a closer look. Maintenance intervals extended. Build quality inspired confidence. The experience became more about enjoyment and less about endurance. That accessibility expanded the brand's customer base dramatically. For many, the LP560-4 was the first exotic car they drove regularly. It normalized ownership of something once seen as impractical. This was the subtle revolution, a transformation from aspirational object to attainable dream. The ripple effects were profound. Competitors noticed the shift and began integrating similar philosophies, focusing on drivability, usability, and reliability alongside raw power. The market for performance cars changed accordingly, setting new standards for comfort and build quality in high-output machines. Within the brand itself, the LP560-4 established a design and engineering template that guided future generations. The lessons learned from its development influenced every model that followed, from engine management to interior ergonomics. The approach proved that sustainable success in the supercar market required more than spectacle. It demanded consistency and trust. The LP564's legacy lies not only in its performance figures, but in its cultural impact. It bridged the gap between passion and practicality, appealing equally to dreamers and realists. In doing so, it redefined what it meant to own a machine born from obsession yet shaped by logic. It marked the moment when the brand stopped chasing legends of the past and started creating a new one for the future. The Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 of 2008 cemented its place in automotive history by proving that evolution could be as thrilling as revolution. Its success reshaped not only its maker, but also the expectations of an entire segment. Before it, supercars were machines of excess. After it, they became symbols of precision. The LP560-4 taught the world that power could be harnessed, emotion could be refined, and usability could coexist with extreme performance. That transformation began with the foundation it built upon. The Gallardo platform had already established a reputation for compact dimensions and excellent balance, but the LP560-4 perfected it. Through revised aerodynamics, lighter components, and advanced electronic management, it achieved harmony that felt natural rather than forced. The car responded to every input with intuitive precision. There was no longer a gap between intent and reaction. It became an extension of its driver. This relationship between human and machine defined the experience. Confidence replaced caution, and mastery replaced fear. What once required skill to simply control now rewarded skill with deeper satisfaction. The LP564's usability did not diminish its drama. Instead, it magnified it. Because drivers could explore more of its capability, they experienced more of what made the car special. Each corner, each acceleration, each braking point became an opportunity to feel the engineering working seamlessly in concert. Underneath its composed behavior was still the unmistakable spirit of a raging bull. The engine's mid-mounted layout kept weight centralized, allowing perfect balance through turns. The all-wheel drive system, refined through constant testing, ensured that torque was always delivered with intelligence. Even at high speed, the LP560-4 felt poised, eager, and predictable. The car's feedback became a teacher, guiding drivers to trust the machine's potential. That trust was the foundation of its mainstream appeal. For decades, the brand had been a symbol of unattainable desire, admired but seldom experienced. The LP560-4 changed that dynamic. It became the model that expanded the brand's reach, introducing thousands of new owners to the world of high-performance driving. Suddenly, owning such a car was not limited to collectors or thrill-seekers. It was for enthusiasts who wanted to merge everyday practicality with passion. The LP560-4 allowed them to do exactly that. This shift in perception was as important as the mechanical advancements. It transformed the brand from a niche artisan into a global performance powerhouse. Sales numbers reflected this change, as production increased without diluting exclusivity. The balance between volume and identity became the new formula for success. The LP560-4 was the car that proved a supercar could be built to modern standards without sacrificing its essence. It also marked a cultural shift in how people viewed performance vehicles. No longer were they mere weekend toys. They could be integrated into daily life. The Gallardo LP560-4 made that integration desirable. It represented confidence, achievement, and individuality, but without demanding constant compromise. The owners who drove it daily became ambassadors for a new kind of automotive culture, one that valued experience as much as spectacle. In doing so, the LP560-4 also influenced the future design language of the brand. The crisp geometric lines, the focus on aerodynamics, and the distinctive lighting patterns carried forward into the next generation of models. The lessons learned from its success informed everything from drivetrain calibration to material selection. Every car that followed bore traces of its DNA. Yet beyond the technical legacy lies something deeper. The redefinition of what it means to be a supercar. The LP560-4 demonstrated that refinement and reliability could coexist with passion and power. It proved that evolution was not a compromise but a progression. This balance between restraint and excitement became the modern identity of the brand. Even years later, enthusiasts regard the LP560-4 as one of the purest examples of that balance. Its sound, its handling, and its design captured an era when technology met emotion in perfect proportion. In a sense, it became the last analog link to the brand's untamed past and the first digital step toward its disciplined future. That duality makes the LP560-4 timeless. Its story continues to resonate with anyone who believes that performance should be both thrilling and achievable. It stands as a reminder that greatness does not always require reinvention. Sometimes it simply requires refinement. The LP560-4 achieved that refinement with grace, and in doing so, it changed how the world sees the pursuit of speed. The Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 of 2008 represents more than a chapter in automotive history. It symbolizes a moment when ambition met precision and passion learned discipline. In a market crowded with machines that screamed louder and ran faster, the LP560-4 succeeded by being better where it mattered most. It offered control without compromise, excitement without exhaustion, and luxury without excess. Through this balance, it redefined what a modern supercar could be. The legacy of the Gallardo LP560-4 lives in every model that followed. The design cues, the engineering mindset, and the focus on usability became the foundation of a new era for the brand. It demonstrated that a company famous for extremes could evolve without losing identity. This evolution did not erase its wild heart. It refined it, teaching it rhythm and precision. For the first time, drivers could experience supercar performance with the confidence that the machine would respond faithfully, not erratically. That reliability became its quiet revolution. The LP560-4 made owning such a car an attainable dream, one that no longer required sacrifice but instead invited participation. It invited people to drive, not just to admire. It turned ownership from an indulgence into an experience, and that experience defined the brand's next decade. Even today, the LP560-4 remains a benchmark for how passion and engineering can coexist. Its sound, its feel, and its character still inspire new enthusiasts and remind veterans of when the impossible became practical. It taught an entire generation that performance could be part of everyday life. For a company built on emotion, that was the ultimate breakthrough. The LP560-4 stands as proof that evolution, when guided by respect for heritage, can create something truly timeless. Its influence extends beyond numbers, specifications, or accolades. It exists in the way it made drivers feel capable, connected, and alive. That is the essence of great design. Not just to perform, but to inspire. In that sense, the Gallardo LP560-4 was not merely a car. It was a statement that excellence can be driven, not just dreamed. END